Hi and welcome back to next unboxing video from Mini Bike Store video blog. In today's video I'm going to show you step by step how to properly assemble the Torino 1000W 48V electric quad from Nitro Motors. The Torino will arrive in the box like this. It weighs 65 kilograms. It's a 104 centimeters long, 64 centimeters wide and 50 centimeters tall. So let's open the box and see what is inside. So here it is how the quad looks like outside the cardboard box. As you can see, inside the quad is secured in the steel frame. It's also well wrapped in the foil to protect the quad in the transport. So now I will show you step by step how to properly assemble the quad. So first you will need to remove all the parts which are attached to the bike. Here we have the box with the parts. Here we have the front wheel. Here is the second front wheel. Here we have the rear carrier. Here is the front bumper. Here we have the seat. Now unwrap the quad. Oh, that's really cool. You can see the graffiti paint is just amazing. It makes huge difference in graffiti paint than the standard one. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we get inside the box here. So in the box we get the bag with the user manuals, we get the keys for the speed restrictor, we have two fuses. Here in the bag we have tools, bolts and some nuts to assemble the quad. We have the 48V charger for the battery. So let's start assembly. First you will need to disconnect all the boards all around the frame which holds the frame together. Next remove the top frame. At the back of the quad just cut the wire just here which holds the quad with the frame. Next lift the quad, and for the easy installation you can place the quad on the stand. Under the quad you will find the front carrier. Place the quad on the stand just like this, so you have all the wheels in the air. So first you will need to start assembly from installing the handlebars. So unwrap the handlebars. Just here on the cable you have attached the main keys, so you can remove the keys. Next, in the bag with tools and bolts, you will find the clamps for the handlebars. So here is the bottom clamp. Here are the top clamps. So you need to prepare all of them. And 4 bolts. So place the bottom clamp, the long one, on the bottom. Next, one of the top clamps. Insert the bolt through it. And the second bolt. Next, the same with the second clamp. Place the handlebars on the middle. Just make sure they are on the middle, just like this. Move them forward a little bit. And now tighten well all 4 bolts. Next you will need to cut the plastic tie which is just here. Remove the plastic tie just here. Now you can easily place the brake levers in the position just like this and tighten these bolts here. and on the other side. So next you will need to move to the front, and the next step here on the front is to install the front bumper. So remove these two bolts here. Prepare the front bumper, this one here, and the front carrier. Unwrap it. So place the front carrier just on the top of these bolts here. Like this. And on the second one. And you can tie them both. And the second one. Next remove these two bolts from the front bumper. First install the bumper on the bottom. Do not tighten it yet. And now connect the bumper with the front carrier. Insert the bolt through it. Secure it with the nut. And the second bolt. And now you need to tighten these top bolts and the ones here on the bottom. Next you will need to prepare the front wheels. So here we have one wheel. Here is the second one. Before you install the front wheel, you can actually check if it's properly inflated. Here it is. The wheels are different, so you need to make sure this is the left hand side wheel. You install it just like this. So remove the nut here. Insert the axle through the hole. You may need to turn it a little bit, and then the wheel will go all the way in. Secure it with the nut and tighten the nut. You need to make sure the wheel turns very easy, just like this. Next, the same way, install the right hand side wheel. Next, install the brake calipers. Bring the brake calipers just here on the front. Place the brake disc between the brake pads on the brake caliper. In the back you will find the bolts to install the brake caliper, so use the bolts. And tighten both bolts. So when you have tightened these two bolts, you can adjust the brake. So check the brake. Here the brake needs a little bit adjusting. So these two screws, that's where you move the brake caliper to the left or into the right. So you can turn these two screws just to move the caliper a little bit. As you can see, now it's perfect. So it's very important that you properly adjust the brake pads, especially in the electric quads. If you don't adjust the brakes properly, the battery will drain much faster. So now install the second brake pads on the other side. So in this case it's very hard for us to properly adjust the brake caliper on the right hand side wheel. So we will need to use the washers. Just you can find them in your own garage. So first you need to place the bolt through the hole, put the washers on the bolt, and then place the brake caliper. These washers will give the space between the brake caliper mount and between the brake caliper, so we will be able to adjust properly the brakes. And the same, we need to put two washers here on this bolt here on the bottom. So now we can tie the bolts. So you can see we have now fixed the issue just by putting two washers between the brake mount and between the brake caliper. So we have finished assembling the front of the quad, and we can now move into the back. At the back of the quad, first you will need to connect the shock absorber here at the bottom. So remove the bolt from the shock absorber. And place the shock absorber in position. And insert the bolt through it. Secure it with the nut and tighten the bolt. Next, check the brakes at the rear. Make sure the brake caliper is properly adjusted. If not adjusted exactly the same way we did it on the front. And the last step is to install the carrier at the back. So remove all the bolts here. Install the carrier in position. Place the bolts through it. Secure it with the nuts. And the second bolt. The same on the other side. And tighten well all four bolts. Next, place the reflecting light just on the carrier here on the top. Secure it with the nut and tighten the nut. And the last step is to insert the seat. So place this part here under the bar in the frame, just here. You may need to push it a little bit, just like this, and then push it down till it locks. So now the quad is fully assembled and you can test all the electronics now. So here in the back you will have the fuses. Just take one fuse. You can also take the keys for the speed restrictor. Prepare the main keys. Here we have the fuse box. So insert the fuse into the fuse box. It will light. So don't worry about this. This is normal. Insert well the fuse. Close the fuse box. Now place the main key into the ignition, turn it to on. We have the lights here on, which shows us what the battery like. Here are the front lights. They are all working. On the right hand side here we have the switch, so we need to hold this, press it and hold it. And now you can test it. So the quad is working. We can check the reverse. The reverse is working. Next, insert the keys into the speed limiter, change to different settings. Press the switch. So that's the fastest speed now, that's really fast. And here we should have the slowest one. And here is the slowest one. Reverse. So all is working. So now the Torino 1000W 48V electric quad with graffiti paint is fully assembled. As you could see, it only takes 30-40 minutes to fully assemble the quad. I have to say that the graffiti paint, it does the job. The quad looks really cool. Before you use the quad for the first time, you need to plug in a charger and fully charge the batteries. Even if the lights on the battery indicator will show that the batteries are full, you need to plug in a charger and charge the battery first. Don't use the quad straight away or you can damage the batteries. So once you charge the batteries, you can use the quad. It's now ready to go. If you like the Torino with graffiti paint, you can purchase it from our website. The link to our shop is in the description. So thanks guys for watching this short video and see you in the next one.